Awesome, man.
Now, you had one more thing. Speaking of like just drama and fights, there was a
Yeah.
recent article that came out about the Nissan.com website. I know we've talked about it once or twice in here too as well because it's just a really good drama story. But
It's
there's been a newest update on it. I'll let you tell the story.
it's crazy. So I'll start. For those of you that go to Nissan's website, what is it nowadays? What is it? NissanUSA.com. It's not Nissan.com. It's Nissan. Why is that? Why didn't Nissan.com become the thing? Well, there's a huge story known about it. So consider this another little story that you can throw at, I don't know, Nissan mixers, Nissan nerd mixers where you hang out with people. I don't know. If you want to see people leave you, share this story with them. But this story is essentially almost 30 years in the making. But there actually is a long saga as to why Nissan.com is not used primarily, essentially, and why Nissan doesn't own it. So, want to share this with you guys and where it currently stands. Now, um, this comes from the Drive. This lawsuit, which has recently been released, claims that Nissan.com has been stolen after years of legal drama. Again, just to get started, though, this whole story begins with a man. His name was Uzi Nissan. He was essentially a serial entrepreneur in the 90s. And in 1994, I mean, I want to say even so early in the birth of the internet, he reserved the domain Nissan.com and Nissan.net. They were both in his possession. He actually used them for, at that time, a computer business that I think he was selling computers, something like that. Now you start getting into 1999. This is the dot com bubble that we started to see. Internet is becoming more commercialized. Nissan at that point wanted Nissan.com. So they actually took Mr. Uzi Nissan to court and they said, "Hey, this is our we believe we should own Nissan.com, and this person is domain squatting. He's saying he's just sitting on this site because he wants the money to sell it." And also, they're talking about trademark dilution, like harming the name of Nissan by owning this domain, Nissan.com. Actually, Mr. Uzi Nissan, after nearly a decade of court battles, won. We won the battle. He actually was able to keep Nissan.com and Nissan.net. That's why, to this day, Nissan USA is the site that we use to look at the current offerings from the Nissan catalog. Um, so that's where that story has been ever since, let's say, the last 15 years. What's happening now is that, unfortunately, Mr. Nissan has passed away. He passed away in 2020, of which the rights and the ownership of Nissan.com and Nissan.net has gone to his estate, his family. Um, so what the family has been doing most recently, essentially, they discovered that through the domain hosting site like GoDaddy. It's not GoDaddy, but it's another one. Uh, that site, um, they for some reason Nissan.com is not in his portfolio anymore, so he doesn't have ownership to Nissan.com, and we're trying to understand what's going on. Apparently, what the family is now saying in this lawsuit is that um, they claim that Mr. Nissan's account on the hosting site has been hacked by an unknown thief, and then the domain was then transferred to whoever owns it now, which is at least as of this point unknown, without authorization of the family. I'll give you an example. When you change your password on, on any site that you go onto,
Mhm.
usually you get a little email notification that says your password has been changed. If this is a fraud, please click here, right? You'll get an email notification. Essentially, they're saying that this website did none of that. There was no vetting process for the transfer of Nissan.com. So this family essentially lost the domain unknowingly and without their permission. That's what this lawsuit is about. They're requesting that uh, the domain host return Nissan.com to them, and they eventually want to go to GoDaddy to essentially manage this site from now on. But currently, if you go to Nissan.com and Nissan.net, it is offline. You're not
Yeah.
going to find anything, and it really makes me think, though, man. The world of domain website domain ownership, it really is sort of a gray area. I mean, I don't know how much you know about it. I mean,
I I kind of it's funny. I when a lot of this, and I'm that old that I remember the internet starting.
yeah,
I remember when like websites were becoming a thing and people were buying them up and just like and went through and just bought up the most popular ones and they were cashing in on it, early on in that respect. There was a lot of people that were just kind of doing that just for cash grabbing, and they may
I remember that. Yeah.
say it's like a moral particular issue or whatever they want to say. They were just holding out for the eventual payday for these companies to kind of just buy it up, as it were.
Mm.
But they bought these things for pennies on the dollar, and then they're going to be selling them for some big cash grab eventually one day. I never liked that. I honestly thought it was just like, well, part of me is like, okay, well, get your payday. But at the same time, it's like if a business is trying to run its business and it makes legitimate sense, they should be able to buy it at a particular cap. You know what I mean? Like they say, hey, domains can never be worth more than say $5,000. Just
Mm.
but it's like I remember them selling for like ungodly amounts of money when it
Yeah.
first kind of came out, and it just I don't know. It seems just petty and a cash grab. And yeah, there's companies with deep pockets, and I'm not trying to say I'm a friend of any of these companies but I always just thought it's just a dirty way to kind of make money, as it
Uh-huh.
were. I mean, just cash it out, but there should be a cap on those. But there's no like anything else on the internet. There's no regulation for any of that kind of stuff. So that's just my particular opinion. Again, well, personal opinions are not any view of Nissan or but but again, that's just my particular view. I always felt like it's just like, come on. And the guys they obviously own the business. It makes more sense for them to do it, unless there's something where you both own the name, and then maybe you have to figure something else out in a court of law, and that makes more sense. Like, hey, we'll
Yeah.
come to an agreement, but that all happens in a
Mhm.
judicial setting. But I don't know. I never liked it, and I remember when we did this article, it just never sat right with me. It's like it's Nissan. They've had the name since forever, and you
Yeah.
just kind of come in and do that. Just like if you did Toyota, oh, it's for my knitting company. It's like, come on, dude, like for
Kid me.
real, like
Come on.
sell it off and then come up with another alternative. But I don't know,
Yeah.
just my 2 cents.
That's true.
But
My
yeah.
one last thing I was thinking about was he said he owned Nissan.com and Nissan.net.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's just me, but don't you feel like .net is like the AM radio of website domains? Like it's why .net? Even when it first came out, it's not like it's old, but it sounds old. You want the .com,
What was
man. Like
everybody buying? They were buying the .coms, the .nets, and it couldn't be .gov because
oh,
that had to be a government
.gov,
entity.
.org.
.org,
Uh,
that was another one.
um,
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know. They're getting pretty creative nowadays. They're trying to make it like trendy or catchy, so people actually want to use it. I've seen them even abbreviate down to .co now. Like that's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
that's right.